Loan words are any set of words which a language borrows from another set of language. Hello and welcome back to the philology classes on Nibblepop. If you haven't yet subscribed to my channel, do so immediately. If you haven't watched the previous videos on philology, the links are given in the description box to follow them. Today's class will be on loan words, why they are so important and why are they called the milestones of philology. This is Monami Mukherjee. You are watching Nibblepop. So what are loan words? Loan words are any set of words which a language borrows from another set of language, right? So why does a language need to borrow a set of words from another language? Well, the reasons can be political, cultural, or intellectual. When one nation comes under the influence of another nation, this influence can be of three kinds. First influence can be when a country, forcefully dominates another country, gains a political dominance over another country. We have seen how the British have colonized India and many other countries. That is called a political dominance. You will also see, if you study the history of England, that England as a nation was also under the political rule of France for a long time, and even under the Roman civilization for a pretty long time. So what happened during these phases of domination was that because a different nation was ruling the people of England, they were imposing on Englishmen their words which are mostly of political nature, and they referred to government services, they referred to words which have military meanings, because those are the areas where a political domination works. Second kind of loan words are there where you see that a country is culturally more developed or culturally considered to be a more elite nation. This you can see in case of certain Italian words which were adopted by the English people, especially when it came to the question of music, art, these kinds of areas where the Italians had supremacy. So domination doesn't always mean that a country has to rule another country. When you admit that nation is superior to my nation when it comes to music, then I choose words of that particular area from that culture or nation to suit my purposes. So this is the case for cultural domination. The third category of loan words refer to the words which pertain to the intellectual aspects of life, intellectual, scientific, things which relate to knowledge. This can be philosophical words, this can be scientific terms. Now, when you study science in your schools, you'll notice that a lot of words are taken bodily from Greek. So many words have classical origins, and this tendency to use classical words to denote scientific theories or scientific elements, this comes from the feeling that the classical people or the Greek culture, that was, the site of scientific development. If you read into the stories of Renaissance, if you read into the theories of Renaissance, you'll know that Renaissance originated outside England and then it seeped into England. Now when you will study more about the influence of Latin on English, you will notice that there are two phases in which the Latin influence worked. The first phase was before the advent of Christianity, when England was under the rule of the Roman civilization. So those words were political in nature. As I was saying, that it was a physical domination. Rome had captured the territory of England. So the words which then were introduced in England had a political nature about it. But the set of words which were taken or adopted from Latin to English after the Renaissance, those were the words which were spontaneously taken because of the intellectual superiority of the Latin civilization. Okay, so this is what I'm trying to say, is that loan words are not just a result of a political domination of one country over another. It is also resulted from intellectual and cultural exchange. When two nations come close to each other, there is an exchange. Now, so far as England is concerned or English is concerned, I want you to remember two terms which will help you understand the reason for so many loan words in English. Okay, because countries always come in close contact with each other. Why is English the one language where there is so many, there are so many loan words? Okay, what is the reason? The two terms are, number one, linguistic omnivorousness, and number two, linguistic laziness. Omnivorous means which a person or a creature which eats everything. So English is like an omnivorous creature which is ready to adopt any word. It doesn't care whether that word is from Africa or India or New Zealand or Latin America or European countries. It just takes the words. Okay, so it is omnivorous in nature. Now, why is it omnivorous in nature? Because it is lazy. The English men are lazy, or rather the English temperament is lazy to actually form new words. Now, when they were expanding their colonies, they came in close contact with different new kinds of spices, species of animals and plants in places where they were expanding their territories. For example, they went to Australia, they saw a kangaroo. They didn't name a kangaroo as something other than a kangaroo because local people called it kangaroo. So they adopted that word. Similarly, they adopted words like guru, adopted words like lathi charge from India. Now, the reason behind this is they saw that these aspects of these nations were unique to these nations, and they did not care for coining new words for these phenomena or for these species. They simply adopted that word or those words from these nations. The third thing that is also operational here is linguistic inventiveness. Now, it is not easy for a speaker of Sanskrit to simply adopt a new word and assimilate it within the structure of Sanskrit, because Sanskrit has its very strict set of rules. So it cannot simply add a word like chocolate and somehow assimilate it within the existing frames of words. But in English, you can actually use n number of nouns, which don't even exist in English vocabulary, and use them in sentences. You can add ISM to anything to turn it into a movement. So this is the inventiveness of the language, which is the basic character of English language, which has enabled it to use so many loan words and turn them into English words. Okay, so what we have learned today is loan words are called milestones of philology because they tend to give you a tentative date or a tentative period when political changes are taking place, when linguistic changes are taking place. What is a milestone? Milestones are those stone blocks which are placed on roads, on highways especially, which indicate the distance from the nearest landmark. Okay, so milestones are important positions for a traveler on a journey. So if you consider yourself as a traveler on a journey of philology, you will see that these loan words are indicators of when English was under the influence of Latin, when English was under the influence of the French, and so on and so forth. So these loan words are not just indicators of linguistic changes, but also of historic changes, political changes, cultural changes and evolutions that the people of England were undergoing. Okay, so this is why loan words are so important, and this is why loan words have made the English language so rich and variegated. In due course of time, you will have lectures on specific influences like Scandinavian, French, Latin, and after those classes are over, you will get a more comprehensive idea of how loan words are assimilated and used in English language. I hope you have enjoyed this short lecture. See you all very soon again with another class on philology. Till then, stay very happy and subscribe to my channel. Like, share and comment as much as you want, because I'm always there to help you out. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.